Hi guys, welcome to the Wellness Collective's free virtual yoga on Saturdays. My name is Sam and I'm the yoga instructor with Wellness Collective, and today we're just going to be going through a vinyasa flow that's really focused on just letting go and releasing any pent-up stress, any built-up energy, anything that's basically sitting stagnant in your body or holding you back or just causing anxiety, giving you feelings of whatever. When I first started going to yoga many years ago, when I was younger, I really was struggling a lot with anxiety and depression. And it was to the point where I always felt like, when you're on the edge of on the edge, basically, you're just always on the edge. That's how I felt consistently, all the time, until I went to yoga. And going to yoga, I didn't really know how it worked or why it helped. But once I went there, I felt like I could breathe again. And I felt like I could take a deep breath and I could release that. And I didn't have to hold on so tight for the edge because I could just let it go. And over the years, I've learned the various ways that yoga actually literally scientifically helps you with your anxiety and scientifically helps you release these emotions and these pent up energies and everything. But when I started, I just went because it felt better. And that's kind of what inspired today's flow, is just kind of moving through the movements and just letting things go and feeling your breath and connecting with your breath and coming back to your breath, because that breath is the most important part. The breath is what connects us to the present moment. The breath is what holds us here. We can't breathe in the past. We can't breathe in the future. We can breathe in the now. And so as long as we come back to our breath, we stay in the present moment, then we let the depression and the anxiety and all the worries kind of fade away, because all that matters is this moment right here on our mats. That's really one of the most valuable things that yoga has taught me, is how to stay in the moment and why it's so important to stay in the moment, because this moment, this now, is the only moment that we have control over. It's the only moment that we can do something about. And so in this moment, for the next 45, 50 minutes, whatever it is, just allow yourself just this moment to be here, to be present on your mat with me, with whoever you're doing yoga with, if you're doing it by yourself. And again, all of the poses are just kind of suggestions. If something doesn't feel good to you, listen to that, honor that, and go to something else. If there's any other questions, you can also obviously reach out to me. I can offer a lot of other modifications. But really just worry about connecting to your breath and listening to your body and letting things flow through you and flow out of you that are no longer serving you, to make room for the things that you need to bring into your life, to make room for the positivity. So if we're stuck in this sense of worry and control and constriction, we're constricting, we're pulling ourselves out. And that's really not any way to live or to grow or to evolve. And living from the heart and living in the present moment, living from now, that's how we expand. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. That's how we open up. And yoga can really help us to practice opening up and to practice letting it go. And so yeah, that's all I really have to say today. So I just hope that you enjoy the flow and we can go and get started on our mats. I'm just going to come into a wide-legged child's pose. Just open your knees about mat distance apart. Bring your big toes to touch. Then just slowly sink your hips back towards your heels, walking your hands toward the top of your mat. Just taking a moment to just center yourself. Deep breaths in. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Just set your intention today, whatever it may be, to let go of what no longer serves you. Just stay present in the moment, to honor your love and listen to your body. Inhale, we're going to slowly walk our hands over to the left side of our mat, stretching that right side body. Reach that right hand over the left hand. Really breathing into that side. Inhaling back through center. And as you exhale, walk them over to the right. Putting your left palm on top of your right hand. Every inhale, you feel that side body kind of expand and open up. Exhale, you're just releasing. Back through center. We'll come up to our tabletop. So just coming up to our hands and our knees. Our shoulders are above our wrists. Our hips are above our knees. We're just going to move through some cat-cows. So as we inhale, lift your chest up, look up, bring your belly button to your mat. As you exhale, bring your navel to your spine, tuck your tailbone, round your shoulders. Inhale. You can put some movement into this too if that feels good for you. Going at your own pace. Just gonna move our hips down over to the left, bring them down to the front, back to the right, gonna push back. So we're just waking up our hips in this moment. Go as fast or as slow as feels good. You can inhale on your way up. Exhale as you push back. Go to the other side, bring it down over to the right. Inhale through the front. Exhale. And back to neutral. Now we're going to stick this left foot out just to the side, so we're on the inside edge of that left foot. Put your right arm up to the sky and thread the needle down through. Bring your right shoulder down to the mat. Flipping this left hand over to the right corner of your mat if you want, or you could just leave it right in front of you, whatever feels good. We're just stretching that right shoulder and also giving this left hamstring a little bit of a stretch, just opening up. Just take one more breath in. And release back to your tabletop position. Bring that left leg in. Now we're going to stick the right leg out to the side on the edge of the right foot. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Again, you can walk the right hand over to the left corner of your mat for a little bit deeper stretch on that shoulder. Or you can just keep it a little bit in front of you. As you inhale, just imagine that breath going to your shoulder muscle, expanding it. And as you exhale, that air leaving the body, releasing it. Back to our tabletop position. Now we're going to just work on opening those shoulders up a little bit more. So we're going to slowly walk your hands down. Coming into our puppy pose. Just going to bring our chest down to your mat. And if this is a little too much for you, you can definitely put some pillows or a block underneath there to help you, if that feels good for you. Pillows are kind of work a little bit better just because they're softer. We just want to open up those shoulders. Store so much stress and tension in our shoulders. We very rarely actually get to stretch them. Again, you're just breathing into the tension. Back up to tabletop. And we're just going to sit that left foot back behind us. Just kind of walk back and forth on the ball of your foot just to stretch that calf muscle a little bit. And bring it in down to the other leg. Stretch that right foot forth a little bit. And step out to our plank. And if there's too much, you can also do plank on your knees for a modified plank, just like this. You just want to keep your spine and your back straight. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Look up at the ceiling. Rolling your shoulders back, opening your chest. And exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your first down dog. You can have your knees bent if that feels good for you. You want to walk it out one leg at a time. And just slowly walk your feet up to your hands. And our standing forward bend. If it feels good, you want to grab onto the back of your legs and just pull yourself in a little bit more. Just slowly starting to wake those hamstrings up, the back of your lower back. Now the slight bend in your knee. Just let your fingertips gradually graze the sides of your body. So you slowly roll up. Just standing. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, look back. Hands down through heart center. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up, look up. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge at the waist. And you can have your knees bent if that feels good. You want to bring your chest down to your thighs. Or if you can and you want to straighten your legs out completely, that's fine also. So again, stretching those shoulder muscles and the hamstrings. Just breathing in and releasing it. See if you can push your hands, your fists a little bit more, a little bit higher. And release your hands down. And we're staying in our forward fold. We're going to walk our hands over to the side. So slowly turn to the left side of your mat and just kind of twist. You're bringing your hands as far back as you can. So we're really stretching the outside of that left leg. Our revolves forward fold. And now walk them back through center. And over to the other side. Again, stretching the outside. Muscles that we don't really think about a lot, but can often be carrying a lot of stress, a lot of tension. Sometimes a forward fold is the best thing you can do when you're stressed. It just releases that. It's a full body stretch. Back through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down again. You can grab the back of your legs and pull yourself in a little bit closer. Or if you want to grab onto your big toes, you can pull yourself in closer that way. Or you can also put your whole palm of your hand underneath your foot and pull yourself in closer that way, whatever feels good for you. Now, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step out to your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Straight behind you, keeping your hips square. Exhale, step it through into your runner's lunge. Looking up. Again, just kind of push back and forth while we're in this runner's lunge, stretching the calf, stretching that hip, warming up the legs. Inhale, looking up. And on your exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg, bring that left heel down to the mat, fold into our pyramid pose. You can also use some blocks. If this is a little too much for you, you can, on the other blocks over there, we can have blocks on the side, kind of help you from your runner's lunge to there. I'm just going to do this a couple times. You can bring that back leg in a little bit too if that helps you feel better. We're hinging at our waist and bending over. Inhale, back to your runner's lunge. And exhale, straighten it out. Inhale, runner's lunge, look up. So we feel that stretch in our left hip and our right hip. And exhale, straighten out. Now back to our runner's lunge. Instead, just bring that back foot down, bring it in a little bit closer, a 35, 45-degree angle. Lift up into our warrior one. So our hips are square towards the top of our mat. This back foot is a little bit, not 35, 45-degree angle, whatever feels good for you. Just kind of turn it so your hips are facing, we're trying to face towards the top of your mat. You don't have to be completely square, but that's what we're aiming for. So, let me here for a second. And that right knee is over the right ankle. Hips square. Hands overhead, your shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands down to heart center. We're going to slowly kick off and coming into our warrior one. So you just, if you can't get your whole warrior one, just try and lift off as much as you can. But if you can, we're going to eventually get down into a T shape. Hips square. One more breath here. And release your hands down to your mat. Lift that left leg up a little bit higher into our standing splits. And bring your forehead closer to your right calf. Lifting that left leg high. You can grab onto your right ankle with your left hand or your right hand, whatever feels good. Stretching it a little bit higher each time. And release, step back into your runner's lunge. Lower that left knee down to the mat into our low lunge. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg in our half split. So you can adjust yourself because you want your hips to be over your knees. And just your spine straight, your chest lifted as we fold over the right leg. Inhale, back to the low lunge. Really feeling that in our left hip, pushing the right hip back. Keep them square. And exhale, half splits again. Maybe trying to go a little bit deeper over that right leg this time. Flexing that right foot. And back to our lunge. We're just going to tuck those toes, come back up to our runner's lunge. Slowly inch that right foot over to the edge of the right mat, coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. So we're just coming into our lizard pose. So you can come down onto your forearms. That feels good. Letting that right knee open up to the side. It feels good to bring that left knee leg down to the mat. You can do that also. Opening that right hip up. So a lot of emotions, a lot of stress, a lot of tension in our hips. Coming up onto your left hand, reach your right arm back. See if you can grab onto your left foot, just pulling it in closer to your body for a little bit more of a hamstring stretch on that left leg. Bring over your shoulder. And release. And slowly move that right foot closer in. And we're going to straighten that right leg again. Coming back onto that left knee, keeping it bent. So we're coming into like a half hero pose. Just keeping this left knee bent. You can readjust yourself if you need to. I don't have enough room in my living room, so I need to adjust myself. And slowly just lower yourself down to the mat. If you feel good here, and you're getting a good stretch in that quad right here, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can come all the way down. Feeling the quad release. Just taking a minute to take a breath. As you inhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Reach your arms up and fold over that right leg, reaching for your right foot, your right toes. And release. Now coming back into bending that right knee and step that left foot back. So we're in our runner's lunge. Step back to our plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We're going to do the other side. So inhale, lift that left leg up. And exhale, step it through between your hands and your runner's lunge. And just kind of push back and forth a little bit just to open up that hip a little bit. And on your next exhale, straighten that left leg. Fold over in your pyramid. And inhale. Back to your runner's lunge. Exhale. And inhale, looking up. Exhale one more time. And coming back into our runner's lunge. And bring that right foot down at 45, 35-degree angle. And inhale, lift up to your warrior one. Again, our hips are just trying to get them square. That's the direction that we want to face them. If your hips don't go that way, that's totally fine. Just aim for that. And do the best that your body can. Hands down through heart center. Slowly lift up into your warrior three. One more breath here, inhale. As we exhale, release your hands down to your mat. Lift that right leg up a little bit higher in our standing splits. Each breath, just try and push it a little bit more. Release back down to your runner's lunge, and bring that right knee down to the mat into our low lunge. And pushing the hip forward. Just gonna get a sip of drink real quick. And on your exhale, you're gonna straighten that left leg out and fold over in our half splits here. Here, just does not want to cooperate today. Sorry. Inhale, back to our low lunge. Pushing that right hip forward, that left hip back. Exhale. Really making sure that your chest is lifted and your spine is straight as you fold over this left straight leg. Give you a much better stretch that way. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten that leg out. One more time, inhale, coming forward, tucking the back toes, inching that left foot over to the edge of your mat, and letting that left hip push open to the side. You want to bring that right leg down to the mat, coming down to your forearms in our lizard pose. Just letting that hip open, letting it release what's no longer serving you. Just really trying to connect with your breath. Bringing your breath to any part of your body that feels like it has tension, feels like it has stagnation. Up onto your right hand, reach that left arm behind you, grabbing that right leg. Just pull it in a little bit closer for a twisted lizard. And that stretch in the hamstring and the hips. Probably one of my favorite poses. It just feels so good. Down. And release. And again, we're going to inch that foot back to the midline of your mat. Inch that right knee forward a little bit. Slowly sit back to a half hero pose. Stretching that quad. Back down onto your elbows. All the way down. If that feels good for you. This moment. Reconnect with your body, your breath. Let's inhale, lift up a little bit. Reach your arms up and exhale, fold over, reaching for that left foot, the left calf, the left thigh, whatever you can do. And then put your hands on either side of you, coming up onto that knee, bending that left leg, and stepping that right leg back to your runner's lunge. Step back to our flank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And from here, we're going to come forward and just come down onto our knees. We're going to come into our camel's pose. So from here, we're just going to bring our hands to the small of our back. Slowly just push those hips forward to open your chest up. If this feels good for you, you can totally stay here. You want a little bit more, you want to reach that right arm back, reach it for the right heel, reach that left arm back, reach it for the left heel, pushing your hips forward, letting your head hang, your chest open. If this is a little too much for you, you can also use blocks, just putting blocks in place of your heels. So it's a little bit easier for you to reach for that. There's always modifications. You need another deep breath in through your nose. And as we exhale, push the hips back, coming down into a child's pose. Sip of water real quick. My child's pose, we're going to push our hips forward. Come into a Sphinx pose. We're going to stay on our forearms here, looking up, rolling your shoulders back. Just allowing your chest to open. When you're ready, just tuck your toes, coming into our forearm plank. If you want to interlace your hands together, you can do that. That sometimes makes it easier. We're going to slowly just walk our feet up, coming into our dolphin pose. Just going to walk your feet as close as you can. And bring your forehead down to the mat. And if it is within your practice, or if you want to just play with the handstand, you can slowly bring one foot up, and then the other. And if you fall, that's fine. You can just come back into it. Just kind of something to play around with. Back to our dolphin pose. Push up to our down dog. And now just walk our feet up to our hands into our standing forward fold. You can let yourself hang here, grab opposite elbows. Just sway side to side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step out to your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale that right leg up. Bend the knees, stack your hips. Just opening your hip up a little bit more. Exhale, step it through between your hands, coming into our runner's lunge. Inhale, lift that right arm up towards the ceiling. A revolved runner's lunge. Another breath here. Next, inhale, lift up. Keep that right arm behind you, that left arm in front of you. Now windmill your arms open. Bring that back left foot so it's almost parallel with the back of your mat. Coming into our warrior two. Looking over the right fingertips. Reach that right arm up. That left arm comes behind. See if you can reach for that right thigh. Now reverse warrior. And exhale, bring the right hand down, side the right foot, left hand up and over in our extended side angle. So opening our body up to the side. You want a little bit more, you want to hold both of your arms out to the side. And release back to your warrior two. Straighten that front leg. You want to adjust that back leg at all. Feel free to bring it in closer. Push the hips out to the side. And the right fingertips down to the mat. Besides your right foot, you can grab your right big toe. Just coming into our triangle pose. Or if you have a block, obviously you can bring it down to your block also. Just want to imagine like you're between two panes of glass. You're just opening your body up to the side, opening your chest to the side. Lift back up. Now we're going to do our revolve triangles, bringing the left fingertips down besides the right foot, the right hand up towards the ceiling. Just looking up at the right fingertips. And if it's within your practice, you want to bend that right leg, move that left hand a little bit further, coming into our revolved half moon. Bring that left leg up, opening up to the right side. And release back down. And back up to our warrior two. And windmill our hands over. Back to frame the foot in our runner's lunge. Step that right leg back into our three-legged dog. Bend the knee again, stack your hips. This time we're gonna bring that right foot down to the mat and open up to our wild thing. Looking over the right fingertips. And come back through center. And bring that right knee to the corner of the right mat and coming into our half pigeon pose. So back leg is straight behind you, the right knee, the right corner of your mat, the right foot is the left side of the mat. Again, if you have pillows, you can always put pillows underneath your hips, a block underneath your hip, and adjust this leg and adjust this knee as much as you need to. It doesn't have to be parallel with the top of the mat. In fact, it might even be better if it's closed, so that feels better. Just want our hips facing the same way. So I'm trying to get your hips square if possible. Exhale, walk your hands down, coming into your sleeping swan. And just letting your body release. Back up. And if you can bend that back left knee and try and bring that heel in closer to your glutes for our one-footed king pigeon. Can hook it with that left elbow. Reach that right arm up and around. If this feels good, you could stay here. If you can, just turn towards the top of your mat. And release. Bringing your knee again, tucking the back toes, stepping back into our plank, coming over onto the right hand into our side plank. Now, if this feels good, you can stay here just looking up at your left fingertips. Or if you want a little bit more, you can come into our side tree plank and bring that left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And release back to your plank. Release that left foot. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now we're going to do the other side. So lift that left leg up and the knee, and just open the hip a little bit. And exhale, step it through between your hands in our runner's lunge. Reach that left arm, hand up towards the ceiling, looking up in our revolved lunge. Inhale, lift up. The left hand is towards the back of your mat, the right hand is towards the front. And windmill on hands open to our warrior two. Looking over your left fingertips. Reach that left arm up, reverse warrior. Reaching that right arm behind you, grabbing that left thigh. Exhale, left hand down besides the left foot, right arm up and over. Extended side angle. Back up to our warrior two. Straighten that left leg, push the hips out, coming into our triangle pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring the right hand to the inside of the left, to the left foot, left hand up, revolve triangle. And if it's within your practice, bend that front knee, bring that right hand a little bit forward, coming into a revolved half moon. And step it back into your runner's lunge. Take that left leg back up, bend the knee, stack your hips, and bring that left foot down to the mat, opening up into our wild thing. And coming back over, that left leg up, bend the knee, bring the left knee to the left corner of your mat, the left foot to the right side of your mat in our half pigeon pose. And just take a breath here. Again, you can always have blocks, pillows, support underneath to make this a little bit easier. You want to try and have your hips as square as possible towards the front of your mat. Slowly walk your hands down into your sleeping swan. Back up, bending that right foot, grabbing onto the right knee with your right elbow, bringing it in a little bit closer to your body, and reach that left arm up, over. Or if you just want to bring it in closer, so you can try and work on your scorpion. Just remember to breathe through all of these. And release that down. Tucking your toes, stepping back to your plank, coming over onto the left hand on your left side plank. And if you want a little bit more, bring that right foot to the inside of the left thigh, pushing the hips up, your side plank tree pose. And exhale, back over, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your hands to your feet. And slowly roll ourselves up again. Coming in to standing mountain pose. We're going to come into our tree pose. So just lift that right foot to the inside of the right calf or the right thigh, whatever feels good. And just focusing on a drishti point in front of you. Bring your hands to heart center, have your hands at your third eye or above your crown. Whatever feels good. You want to stretch like you're a tree reaching for the sky. Without letting your leg fall, bring the right knee into your chest. Standing when release. And now let it go to the back. You're just getting ready for your dancer pose, another quad stretch. Grabbing the inside of the right ankle, lifting that left hand up. Just slowly start to kick that right leg back and up in your dancer pose. As high as you can. Feels good. Come out. It's okay. You just come back in. Not a big deal. Release. Bringing that right knee into your chest again. Plugging it in with your left hand. Now grabbing your foot with both of your hands, slowly start to extend it out. If you can, extend it all the way. Release that right arm. You open up to the side. Back through center. And release your hands and slowly lower that leg down to the mat. Now we're going to do the other side. Just need to get some water real quick. Bring that left foot to the inside of the right calf or the right thigh in our tree pose. And bring the knee into your chest. And a quad stretch behind you. When you're ready, that right arm up, kick that left leg up. You need to use something for balance like a chair or the wall. Could totally do that too. Release. Bring the knee into your chest. Grabbing onto your left foot. Slowly pushing it out. See if you could straighten it all the way. You can bring that left arm up to the side. Back through center. Slowly lower it down to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, ride the breath down to your standing forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. This feels good. You want a little more. You want to come onto the tips, the balls of your feet. As we slowly lower down to the mat. Coming in to your bow pose. Leave your feet on the mat if you want and just hang here. Or slowly lift them up. Straightening them out if possible. Release your legs down to the mat. Put your hands behind you. And push your hips up in our reverse plank. Again, just pushing your hips as high as you can. Letting your head fall back. See if you can bring the balls of your feet to touch the mat. And release. Coming into our staff pose. Your shoulders are above our hips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over. You're sitting forward fold. Just feel your body release one muscle fiber at a time. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. You can put your hands behind your thighs and Just slowly lower yourself down all the way to your mat. Bring this left foot on top of the right knee. Lift the right leg up. Grab behind the right knee. And just pull it in a little bit closer towards your body. And feeling the release of the energy. Bring that left foot down to the right. Let it fall with your right leg. As you just look over, left hands. Back through center. Now put the right foot on top of the left knee. Grab behind your left knee and pull it in. Pull closer to your body as close as feels good. If you can't do this, you can also use a strap, a towel, a blanket, whatever can help you grab on and pull in a little bit closer. And just breathe. Allow whatever is coming up for you to just come up and release. Ignore it or try and control what comes up. You're just preventing the inevitable. Let that right foot fall down to the mat. With the left leg. Bring over your right fingertip. Change this one, sorry. And back to center. Come onto the outside of your feet or grab your big toes and just come into your happy baby pose. Just slowly rock back and forth. Or just stand still if that feels good for you. Just stillness feels good. And hug your knees into your chest. Just rock side to side. Massaging the spine. Release into your Savasana. Just letting your legs fall out in front of you. Your hand and your arms, palms facing up beside you. Allowing your body to rest in this energy and this tingle that you just did for yourself, of being in the moment. When you're ready, you can just start to wiggle your toes in your sleep. Come on over to your side and slowly bring yourself back up to a sitting position. Or if you want, you can stay in Savasana for as long as you want. Just coming here and centering yourself. And taking one deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Give yourself gratitude for showing up on your mat today. Thank your body for providing you with all of it, everything that you needed. I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. If you have any questions or if you want to take your practice deeper, whatever, reach out. I'm always happy to talk about yoga. And I hope you guys have a good weekend.